what happened was there's a gentleman that's been on this podcast before, and sadly only one half of his podcast made it live. The other half we couldn't air because after that podcast, they found me literally in that parking lot that we just were in. It was raining outside. It was less than 50 degrees outside, and I was spread eagle in that parking lot with no shirt on, sleeping after that podcast with the one and only Bill Mazzetti.
That's right. The wild man, Bill Mazzetti. He's a guy that you don't know, is this guy for real or what? And then you get in the aura.
Yes.
And so it begins.
So the first drink that we're going to have is to Bill Mazzetti for introducing us. So which one of these bourbons are we going to try first?
Right here, this is, I informally,
for the record, I've heard of your bourbon. I actually have a bottle, but I've never drank it. And I was going to drink it this weekend before we met, before we sat down, and I was like, no, I'm going to drink my first shot with you. So what are we drinking here exactly?
So much knowledge to give you.
Let's do it.
And remember, none of us knew anything about this industry, bourbon, how to make it, or whatever.
You just knew how to get drunk.
Well, we were the customer of the customers, right? So no good story ever started over salad.
Right.
Now, Revolutionary War happens. All right, soldiers, everybody go home. Everybody on the farm had copper pots. They would harvest corn and rye and other, grains. And then what you don't sell, you distill. And that whiskey is a trading commodity. So it was the first currency.
No kidding.
A barrel of whiskey you could take and you could sell some and trade it for an oxen, or you could transport it all winter long. It was medicinal for your teeth or your tummy ache. It was America's base currency. And then they decided to tax it.
Oh.
And the only ones that had major distilleries and they weren't taxed was George Washington.
Really?
And then he had all his tax revenuers with his old generals. So now your old general is coming back to your farm collecting cash if you distilled anything, and you had to pay cash for that full year's worth of distillation capability. So that's where tar and feathering came from.
Interesting.
And so it started the Whiskey Rebellion. So it's the first time a new country, the commander, the president now puts back on his uniform as the commander-in-chief and raises the Continental Army to go against his own people.
Really?
It's the Whiskey Rebellion.